Hello everyone. So in the last video we talked about the emergence of Mauryan Empire and how its reconstruction of history had taken place. Now in this new video we'll be talking about the next few topics of this chapter, that is topic number 4, new notions of kingships. Now, before new notions of kingship began, we have to talk about the decline of Mauryan Empire. Now, there are several reasons why Mauryan Empire declined, as you've seen in the last video. Some of the reasons were that the empire was too vast that it couldn't be controlled by a single king, and there was no uniformity in the administrative system. Also, because of Ashoka's no warfare policy, it was kind of difficult to control the subjects. Moving further, after the decline of Mauryan Empire, by the 2nd century BCE, there were new chiefdoms and kingdoms that emerged in several parts of the subcontinent. These new kingdoms that emerged in the Deccan and further south of the subcontinent, they proved to be stable and prosperous. The early Tamil Sangam texts, they contain poems describing the chiefs and the ways in which they were acquired and distributed resources. These early texts, they tell us about the ways they acquired and distributed resources. They were how powerful they were, and the ways that they conquered the nearby places as well. Now, many chiefs and kings, which included Satavahanas, who ruled over the parts of western and central India around the 2nd century, and the Shakas, who were of the origin of Central Asia. They established kingdoms in the northern, western, and the western parts of the subcontinent. They used to derive their revenues from long distance trade from one place to another. Also, the social origin were obscure. It means that their social origin is not been discovered yet. People are not sure where they were originally from. Satavahanas, they attempted to have the social status in a variety of ways. Now we'll be talking about how they used to have control over the subjects and establish the social status to a higher rank. Moving further, in the subtopic of divine kings, we'll talk about how certain kings, they used to maintain their supremacy by identifying themselves with various deities. Many people, many rulers, as in the Kushanas around the 1st century BCE or the 1st century CE, they used to claim their social supremacy and used to rule over a vast kingdom extending from Central Asia to Northwest India. They used to identify themselves with various deities, and their notions of kingships are projected in their coins and sculptures. Now, many Kushana rulers have installed really big statues of themselves in a shrine near Mathura at Mat. Also, in Afghanistan, historians have found similar statues as well, and they considered Kushanas to identify themselves as godlike, meaning they were related to God and they adopted the title Devputra, which translated into Son of God. They were possibly inspired by Chinese rulers who used to call themselves sons of heaven. Now, by the 4th century, there were evidences of larger states, which included the Gupta Empire as well. Those larger states, out of many of them, they depended on samants, men who maintained themselves through local resources, including control over land. They also offered homage and they also provided military supports to rulers. There were times where powerful samants could also become kings, and which resulted in weak rulers to shift or reduced to the position of a subordinate. The Gupta history is reconstructed from literature, coins, and inscriptions. Inscriptions included prashits by poets. Now, prashits were praises of kings in particular, but patrons in general. Patrons were the people or group of people who provided financial aid to the kings, and they were the ones due to whom the empire was able to run properly. They had enough financial aid because of them.